miscegenation of races. So therefore, but especially when it comes to the white race and any other race. So miscegenation refers to the mixing of the white race with any other race. And I think up until around the 60s, in America for a start, that was frowned upon considerably. Over in the UK, if when you had a black person having relations with a white person, then for the black community, that's well frowned upon. And even though, of course, that was happening left, right, center, everywhere, it was effectively, to an extent, frowned upon. There was a program by a bloke called, was a talk show, and the host of that talk show was a bloke called Kilroy. It was called the Kilroy Show. And there's a black female who was asked the question, how would you feel if a black man dated a white woman? And then she replied that she would take it as a slap in the face. So, in large quarters of the black community, mixing sexual relations with white people, especially like up to 20 years ago, because that program was aired 20 years ago, was largely frowned upon. In the 2000s, 2020s, it's neither here nor there. Effectively, this is happening everywhere. But back in the day, that kind of behavior was described as a strange word. And I think they took the word from banner or a flag. And here the flag is the Union Jack or the St. George's Cross. And the word check, where you say check or like date or woo. So when you get somebody who woos or dates somebody who is connected to the Union Jack, the banner or the Union Jack, that's called banner check. Stemming from the historical relations between black people and white people, and those historic relations having involved enslavement of black people from Africa. Other than that, black people, white people, we're all humans. We get it on. We make babies. The Lord said, go forth and procreate. Go forth and multiply. There's nothing wrong going forth and multiplying. The only thing is, when you decide to multiply, go forth and multiply with a person who has historically enslaved yourself. That's almost like treachery. Hence the term banner check. One is effectively, intuitively realizing or recognizing another person as committing treachery by dating somebody who has previously egregiously enslaved one's own people, one's own family, one's own ancestors from Africa. So if you're black and you're from Africa, you became a slave of white people. Unlike, for instance, Elon Musk, who considers himself an African American. But then, of course, African Americans are DOS, descendants of slaves. Elon Musk is neither a descendant of a slave, neither is he a black person. Yet he considers himself a descendant African American. It's almost as if he gets the best of both worlds. And there you have it. Banner check. Just because I don't know what the historic relations are between East Asians and Africans, should that not subsequently be potentially a powder keg? If when you factor in the fact that the wealthiest people in the world are usually Europeans, and then you have a European in the White House. So therefore, if you have a European in the White House, and then the richest people on earth are usually Europeans, and the poorest people on earth usually are the Africans, is it such a quantum leap to consider that a person from an African background dating a person from a European background is effectively assisting the people that effectively enslave oneself. So potentially, it's not the term Banachek accurately applied to Africans who will date Europeans more than Africans who will date East Asians.